All right, it's June the 9th, 2023. This is an update on the lawsuit. After going down to the clerk's office in Greenbelt, Maryland, I got a couple letters on the 2nd, which is Friday, the same day I went down to inquire with the clerk of the court and inform them that I wasn't receiving any kind of motions by these defendants on my default judgment. Now, this letter here is from the clerk of the court, and it was mailed out on Friday from what they're saying. And I'm pretty sure right after I left their office, they notified these defendants. And this letter that the clerk of the court sent to me is a summary of all the stuff that has allegedly been done in this case. And this, I'm going to show you how corrupt this is. Now here, the clerk of the court has highlighted this paperless order. What the fuck is a paperless order? If it's no paper, then how are I'm gonna know that some order's been done? That's what paperless order means. There's no paper. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know you bootlickers out there will chime in with your 2 cents. But this is the notice they sent me on Friday. They allegedly sent me on Friday, the clerk of the court, that Mr. Ehrlich, who is the county executive of the corporation or charter called Montgomery County, has filed a summary judgment. Now, this is after my motion for default. Now he wants to file a summary judgment, even though he hasn't filed a motion to answer this. But this is all after I filed my motion for a default because they never answered the complaint. Then the judge says no more motions can be filed. But yet and still, here the clerk of the court has said he's filed a summary judgment to try to dismiss a case that's already over. Corruption at its best. But, one thing I do is listen to bootlickers, because I kind of figured this is going to have to go to Richmond, Virginia in an appeal. So, and then all the way to the highest court, because our judicial system is fucked up. Now, same thing. Here, as you look at the date on this, June the 2nd, 2023. It's coming from a lawyer's office in Baltimore. And as you see, I'm going to open this up. Let me get my knife or a pair of scissors so I can open this up. And let's see who has sent me some paperwork after. Now, mind you, I got all this paperwork come after I go down to the clerk of the court and inquire. All right. Here's some more stuff. File. Who is this file for? Following, what's in it? Oh, this is Mr. Ehrlich's motion. Okay, this is Mr. Ehrlich's motion to dismiss. Look at this shit, y'all. This wasn't filed before my default. Look at here, y'all. He wants to even say I hereby certify that on this day, the second day of June, mind you, I've already filed my default and his 21 days have passed. Okay. He says they gave him an extension. I never received that motion. Only when I went to the courthouse and found out it was filed. This is the corruption that is going on for the foregoing. Okay. His memoranda of law supporting. Look at here, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I want you to see. Entitled to qualified immunity. Isn't that something? These cowards hide behind qualified immunity when they do something. They can go out here and kill somebody. They hide behind qualified immunity, something they made up. Why is it that you want to hold me accountable for stuff, but when you do wrong, you want to hide behind qualified immunity? And qualified immunity is only when you follow the rules and the laws. These individuals conspired, stole my property, and then sold it without due process. They violated my constitutional right. This man, Mr. Ehrlich, ordered Tacoma Park to return my property to me, and then they stole it again, and then he says he's going to wash his hand. When we went back to him again and told him that this attempt intimidation and harassment was being done by this little town within his corporation, which the town of Tacoma Park is a business within a business. And now he wants to hide behind qualified immunity, y'all. This qualified immunity must go. They want you to be held accountable, but when they do criminal acts, they don't want to be held accountable. And now we need to push these individuals we put into office to do away with this fictitious qualified immunity. Why is it that free citizens don't have qualified immunity? Why is it that we allow these individuals to commit criminal acts and violations, and the first thing they want to do, ladies and gentlemen, say is entitled to qualified immunity? What kind of bullshit is that? Oop, Judge, I say bullshit. Don't lock me up. This is what they hide behind. Cowards hide behind this qualified immunity. And it must go. This gentleman has no qualified immunity. 1. 2, this case is over. They didn't answer. The same answer he gave now, he had 21 days to do, and he didn't do it. Why he didn't do it? Because he thought this black man didn't know his rights. And he thought he's not even going to go within the limits of the procedures, the timeline, and file certain things. He was wrong. And now he wants to hide behind qualified immunity. And this the funny thing about it. Listen what I'm going to say, free people. You got a lot of bootlickers out here that talks about Donald Trump hiding behind shit. Here's these same cowards that you back up hiding behind the same thing. But yet and still you want to argue about him hiding behind shit. And these people up there hiding behind shit. And look at this. These individuals violated, committed criminal acts, conspired, which is all crimes and which is all law. And now they want to hide behind, not hide, let me explain, put it like he said. He's entitled, ain't that some shit? Entitled to qualified immunity. I went to Mr. Ehrlich's office, and you're going to see all this in recordings. I just haven't posted it yet. And I informed them, even talked to the people in there. They all agreed that this was some bullshit. And they ordered them to return my property to me the first time. But because this little butthurt shithole they call Tacoma Park, how dare a black man defy us, went back and took the property again. They even took the property after some individuals went and paid $1,200 to get the property out. They took it again and took it right back up to the corporation called Montgomery County, which Mr. Ehrlich is the CEO of. And now he wants to hide behind, my bad, he is entitled. Isn't that some shit? Look up the word entitled, bootlickers, to qualified immunity. Ain't this some shit? Look at this. False arrest, false imprisonment, impoundment, and evidence. You stole my shit and then sold it. Look at this. He talks about conspiracy. What do you call it when a group of people get together to steal something from a law-abiding citizen, y'all? Look at this shit here. And this is the same rhetoric that all these attorneys try to use. And these courts goes along with this bullshit. It fails to allege a violation. I think I made it very clear what I'm alleging, what I'm asking for. This individual filed a 22-page complaint. He said he sent all this out. Here we are again. That on the 2nd day of June, he sent this out. I'm telling you, we have a serious problem with our judicial system. He didn't send it out. This is electronic. I don't know who this person is here. I'll find out later. But he sent an electronic motion to the court. I'm just getting it Tuesday. Okay. He says the court granted him an extension. But what's funny about that is when I went to the court and talked to the clerk of the court, she said the post office didn't deliver. No, they returned the motion to them because they could not deliver the letter to a post office box, ladies and gentlemen. This is the post office box right here. That's kind of funny. This got delivered here. And this is a post office box where I have witnesses recording everything that comes in, so that I knew this would happen with corrupt criminals, that they would probably say, oh, he's stating he didn't receive it. This goes to them. They log it in, then they bring it to me, so that I don't touch it until after somebody else log in everything that goes through that mailbox to me. I wasn't born yesterday. Been through this, done this. This is the corruption in our judicial system. These people are the most corrupt individuals on this planet, and they are eroding the American way, which people have died for. Ladies and gentlemen and free people, it is time we restructure our government and our judicial system and take this qualified immunity away from them and start holding them accountable for their own actions. This man is the CEO of Montgomery County, the corporation called Montgomery County. I specifically went to his office and talked to a member of his office and explained the situation. And he understood and he agreed, and he called up the mayor, the chief of police of Tacoma Park, the corporation called Tacoma Park, and told them they were going to return my property to me. Nothing was different on my property the first time, even to the second time. Put it back where it was on the public street where I pay taxes. And they came back and they took it again in retaliation and harassment and thought that they were going to do something to try to sway me. But the citizens of this little corporation told me this is how they maneuver and act. Okay? And they took it again, and I went right back to the CEO and told him they done it again. And you know what the CEO did? Turned his back as though, well, I'm not going to do nothing this time. Okay. Then once I filed my lawsuit, he said the same thing. He said it to the judge. He said it to the court. I'm not going to do nothing. His attorneys, and you're going to see in my recordings that even the secretary said, you got to take this to somebody else to get it served in his office. And then they want to say, oh, he didn't serve it right. But now, after I file a default judgment, which ends this case because it says they agree to everything I said, and now they need to cover their asses, they're going to get a corrupt judge. Well, I'm not going to call him that until he says he's corrupt or shows his action, who's not going to follow the procedures to dismiss this case. I have my appeal ready to go to Richmond, Virginia, and all the way up to the Supreme Court. But I'm letting you people know, this is what this is about, letting you know how corrupt these people are in these judicial systems. That's just like the other day, the gentleman talking about he's going to give me 60 days. Suspend the 60 days and give me 2 years supervised probation where I have to report to somebody and give them all my information, pay these fees for saying the word bitch, which is my First Amendment right, which he violated by saying, first, I'm not entitled. I'm less of a man. I'm not entitled to a jury trial. Ain't that some shit going on, ladies and gentlemen? These fucking cowards. And I'm pretty sure he's on the next lawsuit that will be filed probably this next week. And watch he say the same thing. He's entitled to qualified immunity. Ain't that some shit? Even though I'm pretty sure in his lifetime, he has called somebody a bitch. His girlfriend, his wife, or his boyfriend. He's called them a bitch. Or somebody road rage or something. But he's not held to the same standards as we are by what they're saying, because they have this imaginary qualified immunity, free people. And I'm telling you, come election, we got to push to get this removed away from them. And if individuals are not willing to remove this, we need to remove them from office. We got to hold these cowards accountable for the same thing they try to make you taxpayers and free people accountable for. And I'm not even talking about these bootlickers, ass kissers, and deep throaters. They're useless to America. Useless. They're the kind of people that the parents were ashamed when they were born. And they probably got born out of one night at a party drinking too much. They're pieces of shit. You know, I despise these cowards and these bootlickers who stand for nothing. And these little monkey mugs who got these And go look at my comments. These fictitious pictures. I got one guy, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I got one guy, a stormtrooper. That tells what kind of mentality grown ass people walking around showing that they hooked on Obi-Wan Kenobi, a fictitious character in Star Wars, a stormtrooper. Fictitious. Get the fuck out of here. That's why they sit in their basements and watch this dumb shit. So when people do something, here they come with their fucked up ass comments. I despise these individuals. I really do. You know, these are the kind of people the neo-Nazis should have put on the trains. I all honestly. And gas they motherfucking asses. Because they're useless to this world. They stand for nothing. They're fucking cowards. But again, this all happened after I visit the clerk of the court and inquired about how is it that they're filing motions and I'm never getting the motions. Okay? And here, on the 2nd, same day I went up to the clerk of the court, this attorney for Mr. Ehrlich, the CEO of the corporation called Montgomery County, electronically filed a motion for summary judgment to dismiss my case after the default. And I still haven't received that motion from him. I got it from the clerk of the court, got it stamped so that I can show the Court of Appeal. I never received this. And I got a ledger who will notarize it, sign it, and swear to it. These are all the letters he received. Ladies and gentlemen, and free people, let me explain something to you when you're doing legal work. You may not think about it at the time, but you save all your envelopes. You see, I staple my envelopes to whatever comes in. But always look at the date that the post office stamps. I'll show you again. Look at the date, which I find real interesting, that the clerk of the court had an ex parte meeting with this attorney right here on June the 2nd, which is that Friday, and told him that I was down there. And the clerk said, oh, he was down here complaining that he's never received any motions. Now, mind you, let me see if I can find it on here for you all. Here's the default judgment, y'all. 5/16/2023. Where's the other one? Here's another paperless order granting motion for extension, which I never even received that. So he gives them something that I never received an order. Here's a summary issuing 21 days as to these people to respond. And as I look at this shit right here, some of this shit, mind you, this case was filed in. This is when I filed my paperwork. First they say I didn't pay $2. Here it is right here, y'all. Filing fee, $2. Their recording said the filing fee was $400. Then the judge says, I need to pay $2 before they will file my paperwork. This is all about business, ladies and gentlemen. So I go down, I pay the $2. Where is it at? Let me see. Notice appearance wrong. You see, here's All these people did was file a notice of appearance. That is not an answer to the complaint or the summons. All right? It's not. Then we got all these motions. Here's another motion. I never received none of these motions. Then I filed my motion of default. Where is it at? Here's my motion of default on 5/9/2023. Then I filed my second motion on 5/16 for a default judgment. And then all of a sudden, I go down here and I'm seeing where all these people file all these motions. Let me give you this good example. The only reason I know about some of this stuff is because I think it was the stormtrooper, bootlicker, put it in one of the comments. And he said that these people filed this, that he said these people filed this kind of shit. So I went down there after I received this, one of these clerk information things, that all this stuff had been filed, which I never even received. But here we are now. It's a default judgment. This case is over. So let's say if we have an honest judge in Greenbelt, Maryland, or is he still engaging in a pro se meeting over the telephone or a cup of coffee or a drink or text? But as you see, the county executive of the corporation called Montgomery County says he has qualified immunity of committing criminal acts. Of committing criminal acts. Ain't that some shit, y'all? What I fail to realize is, why don't I have qualified immunity for parking my property on a public street I pay taxes for? Why don't I have qualified immunity for traveling in this little corporation where I was arrested and my property stolen from me and sold, and I really don't think it was sold. I think a police officer has my property, my motorcycle. Why don't I have qualified immunity? Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we have qualified immunity, okay, when we do something wrong? Who gives them, servants that work for us, qualified immunity? Why didn't I get qualified immunity when I was traveling, not breaking any traffic codes? Why didn't I get qualified immunity? Why didn't I get qualified immunity of not producing an ID when the supreme law of this country says I have a right to remain silent? I have a right to have my paperwork secure. Well, I don't have to give it to anybody. I don't have to say anything to anybody. Why didn't I get qualified immunity? Who elected to give these government officials qualified immunity? That's just like these courts. Every time they get their butt handed to them, they make up these fucked up ass procedures to cover their asses. Why is that? Every time lawyers make an argument that gets something, or like if you go back, let me give you a good example. You go back to when Mr. Trump became president, and I like Donald Trump. Didn't vote for him, but I like him because he's a person who speaks his mind. Most people don't like that. And, the first thing they say, oh, something wrong with, like they say with me, he crazy. No, I'm not crazy. You the crazy one because you got no backbone. You let anybody do anything and walk on you and do what they want. So you the crazy one. But they say Donald Trump crazy. But Donald Trump told, and you can go back to the debate between him and Hillary Clinton, where she talked about his tax returns. And Donald Trump said he followed the rules and regulations. And if she didn't like it, because she was a Democrat, and these Democrats have been in office, why don't they change the rules? You see what I'm saying? Because this man didn't pay his taxes because he found a loophole in the procedures. She wants to argue about it. And like he said, why don't you change the rules? And that's what goes on in these judicial system. When they get their ass handed to them, they change the rules so that it favors them. And as you hear in court procedure, when the prosecutor said most favorable light to the prosecution or most favorable light to the defendant. But the most favorable light is you got a crooked judge sitting up there in black who does not follow the supreme law of this country. And if we take away qualified immunity and start holding them accountable, we will make Lady Justice blind again, because she is not blind. This whore got her eyes wide open and people are greasing her palm. This is what this is all about, race too. So don't get it twisted about what's going on here. A black man filed a lawsuit, and I'm going to show you how this is. See what the demand is? That is not my demand. $9 million. My demand was $62 million. You see how the clerk of the court has decided on her own open eyes, prostitution ass, to put $9 million. We have defendants in this case who hasn't even responded to anything. Anything. Have not sent not one, even has not put a line that an attorney is representing them. But yet and still, Lady Justice has her eyes wide open, free people. And let me tell you something right now. History always repeats itself. When people get tired of this corruption, we had a civil war against England. It's one going to happen here because people are getting tired of this bullshit. It may not be in my lifetime, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And for all you corrupt little bootlickers and ass kissers, I'm not even referring to you. Your life been over with the day you were born. You just don't know. You're a zombie walking around in a free world. But to you individuals who be elected for shit, you can't take it with you. And at the end of the day, there is a God. And judgment is his. Make no mistake about that. And this is what I say. Karma's a motherfucker. Free people, I'm telling you. It is time we take this immunity away from our servants. We don't have it. They shouldn't have it. They hide behind that qualified immunity or immunity. And they make it rough for everybody. And I told people before, we got good police officers out there. I fuck with them. But believe me when I tell you, off the camera, there are a lot of them who say they like what I do. Okay? But the problem is this, they can't say it openly because retaliation, just like these clowns here, will be against them. And this is why, one of the reasons why I go out there and do what I do, to show these corrupt motherfuckers out there. Okay? And I'm going to speak for the good police officers out there, because there are some. You got a lot of them that are just dirty motherfuckers. And the good ones know that. But they can't say nothing because they need their paycheck to pay their bills, which I understand. You know? But one thing about that is this. To these good police officers out there, when you don't speak up, you're just as bad as they are, even though I understand why you don't speak up, because you got bills to pay, you got a family to take care of. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to speak up. And believe me, the majority of you know who I am. And if you know a dirty cop, drop me a line. I'll take care. I'll go put them on the camera and show that they're a dirty cop. We'll follow them around and show the people that they dirty cops, and on your behalf. Because we got a lot of dirty cops out there. And if you don't believe me, go do social medias. Look how they use profanity. Look how they beat up people. Look how they shoot and kill people. These are dirty motherfucking cops. And the first thing that comes out, they go into a judicial system where more dirty motherfuckers are. And we got to start getting rid of them. And the way we get rid of them is hold them accountable for their own actions. And all this shit would change, because now they know they can be held accountable without this qualified immunity shit. There are two kind of laws. Why is it that I'm not getting qualified immunity and they are? I don't elect people to have qualified immunity, free people. And neither do you. So why are we allowing these people to have qualified immunity? And then another corrupt judge is going to grant it because he's going to say, oh, they have qualified immunity. I didn't agree on nobody's having qualified immunity. If I'm held accountable for what I do, so should they. They are no different. They work for me. I don't work for them. So how do they get qualified immunity, free people? That's something to think about. How do they get qualified immunity if you're going to hold the boss accountable? Y'all stay tuned. This is just, I told each and every one of you free people that I'm going to put, no matter how this goes, and I'm not talking about these bootlickers who I'm not even going to give them the time of day. But I told you, everything I get, I'm showing you. And there are a lot of recordings that you have not seen yet, because I want to see how this unfolds first. But again, on behalf of the clerk of the court, she decided to put this $9 million. Look, I'm going to show you just how corrupt this is. Watch. Where is that? Where is his? Now, she put $9 million. If I was white, I would get everything I asked for. Make no mistake about this. This is how this racism is. Where is it at? I'm going to show you. This is what I requested from the CEO of the corporation of Montgomery County, who did not do his job, who conspired with these other people to steal my private property and then sell it to somebody else without due process. So now you can come and take somebody's house and sell it without having a hearing or bringing evidence that a crime has been committed. That's what happened. You see what it is? 36. So how do you go from 36 with one person to 9? This is what these people do in this corrupt system. I paid $402 to have my peers hear a case. And this case is being adjudicated behind closed doors over telephones. After they extorted this $402 from me, where I am allowed to be heard by my peers, which they don't want to be heard. They don't want this case to be heard. And this is why I'm recording. It ain't got nothing to do with the money. Because anybody know this money is for the youth, to help the youth get on their feet and get off these streets and do away with this criminal activity, because our government has failed to do their job again. Because they listen to these bootlicking motherfuckers in here, like the ones be on my comments doing dumb shit. You know, I don't know if some of you people remember a couple months back that one of the chief of police was caught selling firearms on the streets, and he still has his job. 2 days ago on Highway 650, Tacoma Park was chasing a black car, riding on the wrong side of the fucking street, putting other people's lives in danger, chasing a car into D.C. where they knew they had to cut the... I mean, he wasn't even trying to catch the guy, and he couldn't catch the guy, but the guy jumped on the opposite side of the street, and this also did Tacoma Park, Maryland, with his berries and cherries on, riding against traffic, putting people's lives in danger for a fucking traffic chase that he would never catch because D.C. was right there on the line and he can't go into D.C. These are the fucking cowards we put in uniform, and they do this shit because we're not standing up holding them accountable because they think they got this qualified immunity. This shit got to go. And then you'll get some honest, law-abiding officers who uphold their law, who wouldn't mind being police officers because now they're going to be held accountable, and you can get rid of these criminals who walk up here or run with these gold badges, think they are above the law. Like this piece of shit is running Tacoma Park Police Department. Yeah, you're a piece of shit. But again, this whole case is to show the people how corrupt this system is. I had one bootlicker say, "Oh, you walking around, you don't so." Let me tell you something, bitch. And I'm calling you a bitch, so call that judge and have him go. These are cars I put together, but my real cars, no, I wouldn't park them there because I know how corrupt this system is. These cars were used to prove a point, and the point was proven. I still travel. I still ride my motorcycle. Okay? And I'm going to get all of them back. Make no mistake about that. Because that's going to be one of the agreements in this when we get to Richmond or the highest court in this land. Make no mistake about that. And then I'm going to go do it again and again. And then we're going to go. The Second Amendment is next. So all you bootlickers, get ready. Because I'm going to use my Second Amendment to right to bear arms. The Constitution of this country is very clear. We have a right to defend this country against domestic and foreign terrorists. And we have terrorists running this country today. Make no mistake about it. And I'm going to defend myself in Greenbelt lawsuits and letting you people see it. I had one individual who came in here and talking about, oh, because I said I was going to show where these corrupt judges live, where their kids go to school, where their wives go to school. The first thing came out of his mouth is, are you going to take your gun with you? Ain't that some shit from a fucking coward? Nowhere in my comment did I say anything about a gun or doing violence to anybody. But this is how these clowns love to manipulate shit and then hide their monkey asses behind qualified immunity. Only a bitch will hide behind qualified immunity. So all you bitches out there who try to hide behind this qualified immunity, you go out there and you do criminal activities. You violate people's rights, and then a bitch hide, and I ain't talking about no woman. I'm talking about a mangy ass motherfucking dog. When I say bitch, that's what I mean. When I call Tacoma Park police officer a bitch, and yeah, judge, I didn't call the young lady a bitch. I called the Tacoma Park motherfucking whore that was sitting in that car who arrested me and battered me a motherfucking mangy ass, dirty ass dog. A bitch. And you a bitch too, judge, who gave me this 60 days and 200 days, 2 years probation. You's a bitch too. And I'm going to show you in Greenbelt how I handle bitches, just like I handle these bitches here who now are hiding behind or trying to hide behind qualified immunity. I'm letting the people see just what kind of bitches they are. And to you people in Montgomery County, the corporation of Montgomery County, you need to throw this motherfucker out of office. Because he's a bitch. So y'all stand by. And no, I'm not upset. I'm just sick and tired of this country going in the direction it's going because we the people are allowing this to happen. They are manipulating you along with these little whores they call these trolls. And you can see them with the comments, just straight whores. Manipulating this country and sending it down the wrong road. And I'm telling you, history always repeats itself. You're gonna see, I got it now and I ain't put it up yet because I want to see where it goes. You're gonna see where yesterday a code enforcement officer came onto the parking lot and a young man was doing mechanic work, helping a citizen out because his cars were broke down. I mean, he gives me a piece of paper. I'm gonna show it to you. I ain't gonna put too much shit on it yet. But this is Prince George's County. This is a Prince George's County, and I ain't gonna give you his name and none of that. But this is a Prince George's County, and this is a warning notice. He gave to me because I was helping a citizen because his car broke down. He gave me this, and he used this code enforcement rule, which deals with vendors. I'm not a vendor. So now if you help somebody, you're a vendor. Get the fuck out of here. And he gonna tell me, we on private property, y'all. Somebody's car broke down, pulled onto a private parking lot, and I was assisting this guy get his car back running. And the code guy pulled up and said that I'm a vendor because I'm helping a citizen fix his car, and that he was giving me a warning note. I told him write the ticket and I'll see him in court. And then he asked me what my name was. I told him plaintiff. I'm telling you, I'm going to sue every motherfucker that tries to put, and I'm going to put it on social media so you can see the corruption. This ain't about the money because I don't need the money. Believe me when I tell you, I know these bootleggers love to think that this is all about money. Nah, I'm going to tell you bootleggers, that $62 million, I'm going to open up stuff for the juveniles to get them off the street and from selling dope, killing each other, which this government should be doing itself. But no, because they're so corrupt and criminals, they're not doing it. Then they wonder why people are getting carjacked and shot and whatever. You don't took all the wrecks away from kids to do things to take their minds off of foolishness so they go out here in the streets and do it. It's not rocket science. We just got corrupt people in the government. And we got these bootlickers out here that sit around and do nothing. If you don't believe me, ladies and gentlemen, go look at your nearest corners now. We got a dope house on every corner now. A dope house. And the only reason they're on there because now these corrupt rich people can make money off of them. And I'm talking about these motherfuckers who sell this fake CBT or whatever they call this fake marijuana shit. Go to your University of Maryland. We got, what the fuck we need that shit on the universe, on our campuses, selling them vapors, which you say was hurting our youth. Now they get it. They could buy it in stores. Why? Because these rich people can make money off of them. And see who is running these little crack, I call them crack houses, because that's all, dope houses. That's all they are, dope houses. But again, it is time we take our country back, free people. And again, this is, look at here. Stop the illegal vending activity immediately. If you helping somebody who is broke down and can't afford to get to a mechanic shop or pay the fee, you are now a vendor. Ain't that some shit? And I told him, give me the ticket. I'll see you in court. So this is the same parking lot where the Prince George's County police officer came. And this is, I'm going to show you the guy's name. I ain't hiding shit from y'all. This is the guy's name. This is the PG County. Go back and look at one of my recordings. This is the PG County office person who came, who the police officer said she was going to call. And sure enough, I asked him, oh, did the officer call you? He going to act like she didn't call her. This is where the homeowner association called the Prince George's County law enforcement, her private law enforcement, to come and harass the guy that works and helps people fix their cars at a cheap rate. Okay? So they don't have to pay that big money to the people. But now they say he comes down here, and you're going to see this. All this is going to unfold. So that's why I got a lot on my plate right now. And I'm going to put it out here. It's just that I got to put it out and try to put it out in sequence so you people can understand. But let's get back to my court case. This is just an update telling you since Friday. Now I received another motion where the clerk of the court say that the post office couldn't deliver the first motion. This is nothing but corruption, y'all. I find that interesting. I receive all other letters except this extension so I can respond to it after the default. All this is after the default. This ain't before the default. This is after the default was filed. And as you see, the judge ain't even ruled on my default yet. And again, bootlickers, this for you. And ask us, please tell me what a paperless order is. These people filed something or concealing show cause hearing. What is that? What is a paperless order? That means there's no paper for it? Then how am I going to know about it? How am I going to have evidence when there's a paperless order? And you see what she put down? 602, motion to dismiss. Ain't this some shit, y'all? A paperless order showing a show cause hearing. Order to show cause. How you make an order with no paper? See this shit right here? Default. 516. 602. Where's the other one? Another paperless order. Motion for default judgment. 509. Okay. Order. Granting plaintiff 21 days to submit $2. Ain't that some shit? Summons issued. 21 days as to. Okay. Look ahead. Now look. Summons issued. Let me focus it in here. 3/29/2023. Then I go down here, March the 30th, order directing plaintiff to serve defendants within 60 days. But we go back up here on the 29th, an order granting plaintiff 21 days. Oh, no, let's go here. Summons issued 21 days as to, boom. This is why I tell you, keep your paperwork, record. When you file lawsuits, free people, what they try to do is stack all this paper on you and get you frustrated where you start filing and say, I've had enough. It ain't going to happen with me. because this ain't about money with me. This is about showing you free people that we have a corrupt judicial system that needs to be stripped and rebuilt. Lady Justice has her eyes wide open, and she's prostituting her ass all over the judicial courthouses. And we need to blind her and put her ass back up on the manipole, blind, and not know who's standing before her. We have some corrupted individuals here. And how we do that, free people, is take this qualified immunity away from them. I'm telling you. I wrote to my attorney and requested the body cam footage because the security force in Tacoma Park won't give it to me. I don't know, he's sending it or what. But you're going to see how these individuals went into a courtroom and lied. And because we have a bitch sitting on the bench, and I hope you see this, dog, use a bitch, sitting on the bench, manipulating the supreme law of this country. And the funny thing about it is this. When I went into the courtroom that day, I was before a female judge. And from my research and investigate, this lady owns a law firm in Montgomery County. So when I told her I was not waiving any of my rights and that she will become a defendant in Greenbelt if she violated my rights, if she goes forward with this case, and they went forward because I requested a jury trial. She told me I wasn't entitled to a jury trial. I guess black people aren't entitled to a jury trial. That's the same thing back in the day when black people weren't allowed to go into a white bathroom and use it or drink from a white fountain. Now they telling black people, oh, not even black people. I'm not a racist. I'm prejudiced, but I ain't a racist. I'm not even going to say black people. Poor people are not entitled to a jury trial. Maybe if I had money, I was in. But the funny thing about it is, this carries 60 days. And as you see, I was in circuit court for not showing an ID, which also carries 60 days. And I had a jury trial. Go figure that one out. But when I told this woman that, this same bitch judge kept coming into the courtroom talking to the prosecutors. So I already knew what was going to happen. But I told my attorney I was not participating in this because my rights were being violated. And I told him it's his show. He could do whatever he want to do. So we went to lunch and we came back. We came back for this dog who calls himself a judge. And let me show you. I'm going to show you. Excuse me. These are the people right here. That E I put in there because she's the only one, so I don't know who she is. But these are the lawyers, state attorney. These are the judges in that case. Who I'm going to sue? I'm going to sue they monkey ass. So get ready. But anyway, I came back from lunch and I came back before him. And I can tell by his demeanor, he was a piece of shit. He couldn't even look me in my eyes. And I already knew when a dog can't look you in your eyes, you better watch out for him. And he was turning red on the bench because I was looking at him, staring him down. And then I got a half-breed prosecutor who's, I ain't even gonna speak on her. I'll talk about her when we get to Greenbelt. But this clown let another witness come in and testify. The lady that you saw in the woods smoking dope, come in and testify that I came onto the property harassing people, yelling, which you're going to see on the body cam footage of the police officer, which my attorney brought to the attention of the judge. He couldn't even hear. Even one of the officers said they couldn't hear me. Then you got another corrupt bitch that you saw in one of my videos, and I told you, this the one that said he could hear me. But Even one of the officers say they couldn't even hear. You're not even going to be able to hear it on my body cam, on his body cam, me yelling. But this dog, this bitch dog who wears a black robe, and yeah, I'm calling you a bitch dog, Judge. You don't need to sit on the bench of free people and implement law. That's the same thing about another judge back in the day named Kim, out of the same courthouse, who was having an affair with a young lady who works at the courthouse and went down 270 brandishing a firearm at her because she got tired of his shit, and they let it disappear out of the thing. This is the same kind of courtroom where one of the security guards molested a teenager and you don't hear no more about it. See, this is what goes on. Out of sight, out of mind, and I'm not gonna let that happen. Bitch, I'm coming, and I'm gonna sue your dumb ass, and I'm gonna put you on social media. Make no mistake about it. But free people, it is time we clean up our judicial system. And yeah, some of you people may not like my language, but that's the beautiful thing about being in a free country. Freedom of speech, and they're trying to take it away from you. It's all right for them to use it, but they don't want you to do it because they got qualified immunity. Why is it I don't have qualified immunity? Are these people supposed to be better than me? Are these people supposed to be better than you? Why do they have qualified immunity? They can drive down the street brandishing firearms. They can drink and drive and you know, qualified immunity. Qualified immunity. That needs to go. Where we start holding these people accountable just like they're trying to hold us accountable. And I'm going to leave that in your thinking. What makes them so better that they get qualified immunity and we don't? They work for us. They get paid by your tax dollars and my tax dollars. They work for us. Why do they get qualified immunity and we don't? All right, y'all stay tuned. Anything else I get, I'm putting it out there for y'all to see. Free people. For you trolls, keep throwing the comments at it. I love it. This is how my platform grows. Some people say, why you don't have subscribers? I don't push for subscribers. If you want to subscribe to my platform, I leave that decision to you. This is about showing you what is going on in America today. Why our country is in the way it is now, because we free people are not standing up, not standing together and saying enough is enough. Y'all stay tuned.